And furthermore, Susan, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to learn that all 4 of them habitually smoke marijuana cigarettes. Reefers.
Welcome to the Smoke Circle, where we take a deep dive into everything under the sun. And now, here's your host, Up in Smoke and Matt Tokes. Whoa, gentlemen.
How y'all doing tonight? What's up? Welcome to the Smoke Circle, everybody. I'm your host, Up in Smoke, and we are joined by Matt Tokes, as usual, and Mr. H. Today is our guest. How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Let's get high.
Doing good.
Let's get high, and then let's talk about scary movies, since this is our first episode here is a Halloween episode. And, well, couldn't find anybody that was really into horror movies, so we're going to do a scary movie instead. So,
I mean,
and as you can see, we're dressed all funny today, because I'm dressed as Cheech, and he is dressed as Chung, but he refuses to wear a beard because it's itchy.
I mean, he's got a beard.
If you're actually watching the video, but if you're listening to the audio, then I guess you really don't get the full experience, and I apologize. Go watch on YouTube.
And I'm just dressed as a guy. I mean, I've got my jersey on.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with these cameras, but we'll fucking get this shit worked out.
Oh, man.
But I'm going to do a quick rip here, guys. Give me a sec.
Love it.
So, I think one of the funniest things is it's not that I hate scary movies or horror movies, right? I just don't prefer them. I've seen a lot of them.
Yeah. I've seen quite a few of them too. They're very predictable.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
I watched them more as a kid.
And that's what ruins it
right?
for me.
So, like, when you asked movies, I literally, first thing, Child's Play, Halloween.
Rose Red.
All of those old school movies, and they're just not what... I don't know how many people know a lot of those older movies.
Or Pet Cemetery.
Pet Cemetery.
Yeah. I mean, they'd have to be really good.
Best.
Adam, yeah.
So, like, Paranormal Activity may be the newest horror movie I've seen. And that wasn't even horror. It was just weird.
Just weird.
They're usually repeats.
Dude, the creepiest one I've seen recently, though, has to... Like, I know it's not a newer one, but The Orphan, that shit was fucking creepy.
No, didn't want to... Literally, we're in movie theaters. I'll go see a movie.
Because that shit was a true goddamn story, too. That's what makes it even fucking creepier,
like,
man. Like, that shit is, like, real shit. Like, this little bitch... Like, if you're not going to watch it, or if you haven't seen it, and spoiler alert, plenty here, because this is going to ruin the whole fucking movie. You find out by the end of it, it's a creepy older lady that just wants to fuck the dads and murder the fucking mamas.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, same. And
she's like this older Russian lady that
Crazy.
has like this weird dwarfism shit, and she would like fake being young and murder families, and yeah,
saying and
fucked up.
Previews like that shit'll come on, and I turn to my wife, and we both look at each other and say, "You good?" And she'll be like, "I'm good," and we move on. That's just how it's just never appealed, never been something I've sought out.
I get it. I'm more of a comedy or action guy myself.
Huge comedy, especially. I mean, I watch. Like, I guess they've got Doctor Strange coming out too. That's supposed to be like semi-horror, so that's gonna be.
How is Doctor Strange horror?
It's gonna be the Multiverse of Madness, but they said they're trying to be.
It's sci-fi.
Yeah, but they're gonna try to be. They brought in so when they first came out with it, they brought in a completely horror guy who made it too scary, so they fired him. And they brought in someone else, Sam Raimi, who did Spider-Man. So, anyway, way off topic. See,
I don't give a shit, man. This shit's gonna be all over the place, anyways. I kind of assumed that from the get-go. It's all right. This one's trying to get my attention now too. Freaking turd. But as far as the scary movie goes,
yes,
what
scary movie
drew you to Scary Movie as a child?
So, I knew Scary Movie because I once again watched all those old school bad ones, right? Like Scream.
Yeah. I mean, it was always more fun to just make fun of the old horror movies.
Exactly.
Anyway.
That was what we did.
That's why I liked Mystery Science Theater.
Exactly. Those movies were great. Scary Movie was one of the first, if not the first. Now, we did, the Wayans brothers did other parodies. You had the Don't Be a Menace.
But they did those afterwards. This was like the initial.
This was the first mainstream, and I hate to say it, with this non-urban parody movie.
Yeah.
Because they did come out with Don't Be a Menace prior to this.
But that wasn't horror.
But it was,
and that
was
wasn't
a pure parody movie, is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, I get it's
Yeah.
a parody movie, but they were doing like I'm talking about like a horror parody. Like this was like the first
This
horror
was
parody.
That's what I'm
type
saying.
of
So
shit.
first horror parody. Not just first horror parody though, because I mean you had like the
Yeah, 'cause
airplanes.
don't be a
and stuff.
menace. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Don't be a menace is a great fucking
Yeah,
movie still.
but when I say so,
That fucker
I was more meaning the first from the Wayans.
you got something to say.
The Wayans parody world is where we're at because not another teen movie started to spin off from all that shit. All of these from the franchise in the minds of the Wayans more. Scary Movie was the first to do that.
Yeah.
But I was saying it wasn't their first, but it's the first one that hit home with everybody. So that's what brought me to this movie, Scary Movie.
Gotcha. Matt, what do you like about Scary Movie, or did you do enough research to even talk about the subject?
Scary Movie was alright. But like, as a comedy side, it was good. It was funny. But as like the second and the third and the fourth one and the fifth one came out, it just went
the third,
downhill.
fourth, and fifth one weren't even made by the Wayans brothers. Only the first and second ones were, and that's why the third, fourth, and fifth ones sucked. They were just trying to like milk that cow at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And also,
For a
like,
real cow.
Scary Movies, if you looked at it, like, their script was based off, like, Halloween, The Sinister, or some shit.
The original
What-
one was more
what you-
Scream, and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
The Matrix, they took a little bit of
Oh, yeah.
script out of
Yeah,
that.
They
The
did have the
Matrix
Matrix
freaking
fighting scene where Sydney jumps up and does, that was early, yeah.
Yeah, that shit was pretty great. That was actually one of the Wayans brothers things, I think.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah,
correctly.
Yeah,
they
it
ripped
was.
the Matrix on a lot of things in a lot of their parodies.
Yeah. I mean, they did really good on that first one though. That one was a box office hit. That one made what was it, $278 million at the box office, and it only cost them $19 million to make the movie. So I'd say they made a good turnaround on their money there.
Yeah, they definitely got that one back.
Pretty much.
Yeah, they made their money on that. That's why they wanted to milk that proverbial cash cow as long as they possibly could, and they milked it a little too.
And also,
some of
like,
those.
majority of the actors didn't really came back anyways.
Yeah, I mean, Anna Faris as Cindy Campbell was.
Yeah, I think
She was an unknown actress at the time, but now she's huge because of that.
Regina
movie, though.
Hall.
I mean, the Wayans brothers themselves.
I mean, yeah, everybody from that movie ended up. They definitely did go on to do other things. All the main characters,
Yeah.
beside the Wayans, the woman that played Brenda. I can't remember her name right now. Regina Hall.
Was the
Regina Hall. She
Yeah.
did a lot of
Oh,
things.
yeah.
John Abrahams. He did movies as well. So they all ended up going on from there to do
Yeah.
big things,
a lot of them did. I mean, even Jenny McCarthy was purportedly offered the role of Drew Decker, but turned it down because she went on to star in the third one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So like people that weren't like in some of the other ones were just ended up doing it again. Like James Vanderbeek was in a lot of
he
it.
popped in, yeah.
Yeah, he did a lot of cameos, playing himself as his Dawson's Creek character,
I mean, come on.
like that, like the Hey
I
Ron
mean,
set.
yeah, I mean, come on. If they're gonna throw some money on you to pop up on set real quick to play a character, you're gonna
Dude,
show
James
up.
Vanderbeek doesn't need no goddamn
doesn't-
money. He's from the
Okay,
Vanderbeek
but
fucking family. They are
It doesn't
old money.
matter. If somebody
That boy was
Listen,
born with a
but
silver spoon in his
that's
mouth.
That's how the rich stay rich. Just keep accumulating money.
Yeah, this man has been made for money since the day he was born.
I'm just
man.
saying, if they came to him and said, "Hey, do you want to add a quick credit to your name?" He's going to show up for that. He's not. I don't think there's very many scripts James Vanderbeek was turning down at that time.
No. But I ain't gonna lie, I had a few wet dreams to that fucking Drew Barrymore scene. After that movie as a small child, my friend, that'll happen to you. You're coming of age and you see Drew Barrymore and her freaking short hair of like looking like Carmen Electra shit.
Yeah, Drew
oh
Barrymore
my god, that
oof. So, I always forget that she wasn't she in the original Scream as well? Who's the blonde at the beginning of the original Scream?
The blonde at the original Scream, that was they were actually supposed to be in there too, and I can't remember what the frick her actual name was. I know I found that. I think that was Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Yes.
And she turned down the role of Cindy.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
They offered it to her
She was the original
first.
blonde in Scream.
Yeah, they offered it to her first, but she turned it down. Regretted it probably because she could have made a crap ton of money.
Yeah. Although I mean, she'd
she'd
already done like
nice,
Clueless at the time though, because this was 2000. So
the producers originally wanted Aaliyah to play Brenda, but Regina Hall definitely did a really good job.
And Regina Hall came back, I believe, as well, to play all of the. She kept coming back as Brenda because I remember she was all the way through the Signs one and even later. So big ups to her for keeping the role.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kept the role Lori until the fourth movie.
She's funny. I mean, I like most things. I don't think
the reason that Aaliyah turned it down is because Brenda was basically Brandy or whatever, like the old the singer, and she didn't want people to. They wanted her to play Brandy, the kind of a parody of the late singer, explaining the MTV2 interview. But she actually liked the script, but she thought it was funny, but she didn't want anybody to think it that she was disrespecting her in any way.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But then Regina Hall auditioned 4 times for that role. A producer told me not to do Scary Movie even, she said. But she was like, no, of course I'm doing Scary Movie. That would have been bad if I said no.
Regina Hall.
Jared Leto turned down the role of Bobby, which is crazy.
Jared Leto, like he would have been interested.
Yeah, he would have
interesting.
Yeah, he would have been a good role of Bobby, but he turned it down.
And that would have been early enough, right? So he would have still been part of.
Yeah, he did it to order to star as Rakeem for Dream, which that movie didn't even do that well. I don't remember correctly.
I don't even remember the movie, so that pretty much answers your question.
There you go. I mean, that alone should say something right there. Like, you picked the wrong movie, bro.
So
I think it's funny that they never meant to make a sequel, and then it turned into 4 different movies, and at the end of each one, after Scary Movie 2, it says we lied.
Well, I mean, so I will say that let's give the second one some credit. That Butler was hilarious with his.
Yeah, they were pressured to do that second one, so they didn't have the time to actually make it as good as they could have.
They could have killed that. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, they could have.
I mean, it was still good.
They did really, really well on the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, and
still funny
for a small amount of money, considering what it cost to make most.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. So I sat down and rewatched some of the top clips, and at that time, I didn't remember how good this movie was until I watched some of the clips. Like, I mean, you got to remember some of the iconic scenes, right? Like the "What's Up" scene. That was right. The Scream guy doing the "What's Up,"
which basically became a meme before memes were a fucking thing.
Yeah, that Scream.
It was everywhere. Any of your buddies, you'd walk into school and be like, ah.
It was great. Another scene that I thought that I love is, and we do it as smokers, is where they're smoking and he starts coughing.
Yeah.
And he's choking, and he dies. So then the next guy's like, He's like, yo, pass that. So then they grab and they start smoking. I mean, how often as smokers, you're smoking something, your friend's choking. Are you good? Okay, yeah, pass it. Let's go. Because we know you ain't gonna die.
Yeah.
So
you ain't dead yet.
We moving on. Another scene.
You ain't dead.
From when we started with the homeless man begging for the dollar.
Oh my God.
Homeless man's begging for the dollar. The guy's like, nah, get away from me. Cindy's like, no, he's just hungry. I'm gonna give him a burger. Gives him a burger. He's walking away. Homeless guy throws the burger back and says, I said $1, bitch. Right? I mean, because we know most of those people want the money for alcohol. So, being real about that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's a lot of what they're looking
Let's
for.
be honest. So,
Between screens, can you just oh well, I bet I can do this. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. All right. Yeah, I'm not a dummy. All right, now I'm just trying to figure out how to run this program. I apologize, people.
you're good. It's the first one, right?
Yeah, I know. It's definitely the first one for the podcast stuff. So I'm trying to out a new program instead of putting it into the actual streaming stuff thing. Ah, man, fucking suspenders, man. They're fucking with me. But anyway, as we were saying,
Another character, Doofy.
Doofy.
Gotta talk about
Oh
Doofy.
God, Doofy.
Definitely highlight of the movie.
Fucking goober.
So I did like, because they did, because in the Scream parody, right, that character he wasn't super important, but he was important to the movie. He ended up being the actual bad guy. Doofy. Well, he wasn't. They just did at the end of this one. What they do, the usual suspects ending, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Doofy was my favorite character.
Yeah, Doofy was a great character. He was a pretty great character. I mean, he was one of those weird, iconic, nerdy white roles that you just kind of just stick with you. He's the stereotype of white people that a lot of black people will give white people. Is that Doofy
like a Doofy.
stereotype? Because I know that, because when I first hang out with certain people, they judge you and try to figure out if you are a doofy or not.
So it's funny because the person that played Doofy, I always thought it was someone else. I did not realize the person that played him, the Dave Sheridan guy.
Dave Sheridan, yeah.
I always assumed it was David Arquette. I don't know why. I always thought in my head.
It doesn't even. Well, I guess it kind of looks like
just
him,
in my
really.
head. I don't know. As a kid, I don't know why. I just always thought it was David Arquette. And then, like I said, rewatching, I realized, and doing the research, I came up and I was like, oh, it's not. It's this Dave Sheridan guy. Huh. So.
I don't know what they're trying to parody with him, other than just your dirty white dude.
I mean, he was the real killer in the movie.
Yeah.
So, he was the real killer in.
Would you never just expect the weird little
Right. So he was the weird killer in the real movie, and they had to parody him in this one.
Except nowadays, because every freaking shooter has been that weird dude.
Yeah, now he's the first person.
Yep, Doofy was the first person, and then life started to parody a parody. That's the sad fact. Oh, man. That one caught me.
You good? See, pass it. Pass it.
Good.
So another thing that actually, and I'm just spitballing, but another thing that hit me from this movie that I remember as a kid that I found weird was the whole. So I don't know if you remember this. The whole movie was Sydney. The character of Sydney was a virgin, and that was a big point.
You know what's funny is Jared Leto was offered the role of Bobby
in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Was he offered the role of Bobby in this movie or the real movie?
He eventually declined in favor of doing Requiem for Dream. Yeah, that was that
Requiem,
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that one. And then what was the other one? At around 6 minutes in one of the first scenes, Siddy's bedroom, she says, "Would you like to have a little bump bump?" That was the originally written for Scream in 1966, but it was later changed to "Would you like to have a little raw footage?" So they were actually just like weren't even parodying it; they were just using an original line for the movie.
Line. That's funny.
Yeah,
but no, what I was saying is I don't know if you remember this. One of the biggest things of the movie was the sexual tension because Sydney's character wouldn't have sex with her boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
And like
I remember that shit. That shit was fucking hilarious.
It was great because I remember being a kid. I was actually in. It came out in 2000, so I was a freshman in high school. I had already lost my virginity at the time, and I had a steady girlfriend. So like, it was just funny to me that he was having issues.
Yeah.
And then the scene where she finally decides to give it up, and then like they parody it with the movie where like she actually has sex with him in the Scream movie, and then like he blasts her against the wall, the roof. I don't know why that scene stuck with me. It just was so funny to me.
You know what's funny is I think that's what they were parodying in what was that new movie with that fucking like real life and like puppets and shit. And then, like, the puppet, like, blasts, like, yarn all over his fucking office.
I know what you're talking about.
Whenever he came, I can't remember what the name of the movie is, but yeah, dude, that shit. I think that's what they were trying to parody off of
I believe
on that
so.
one.
But,
dude, I think it was great at, like, around 54 minutes when, like, Ray and Brenda are in the movie theater. The preview screen read, "The following preview has been ass-proved for immature audiences only. If you can read this, you're too close. PP poopy boogers, fart butthole, rated I for immature. We thought it'd be funny to put this here, kiss our asses and take it off pause."
Well, yeah, exactly, because you got to pause it to see it as quickly as it goes by.
I know.
So that was definitely a shot at any, but at the time didn't. So nowadays you probably
they had like those weird hidden Easter eggs. Like they were one of those people that would just the first ones to put that kind of shit in movies and shit. Like there's like weird hidden Easter eggs that were actually meant to be there
and
intentionally, like. Because they were like taking homage, like they would do that, like old movies, like Disney would do that shit back in the day, dude. There'd be like a dick in the fucking sky or something.
Yeah, they had to go back and remove a lot of dicks from things.
I know, it's hilarious. I'm like, why?
Dicks were removed.
They don't even notice them.
So I knew for a fact. So I always knew this movie was directed by Keenen Ivory Wayans. I did not know it was not written by him. He did not get a writer credit on this. It was only written by the two brothers, Deshaun and Marlon Wayans. Then it went to Buddy Johnson, Phil Bowman, Jason Friedman, and Aaron Seltzer. So that was something that really stuck out to me because, like I said, I knew of the Wayans brothers. I watched In Living Color every week. My mom had us sit down, and that was our TV. You know, you sit down, you get your dinner, sit down and watch In Living Color. So
ours was the Disney movie night thing. When they used to actually do Disney movies on TV.
Oh, yeah, Disney. Oh, yeah. Then don't even get me started on those. That was big Disney movie night. Brink. Remember that movie? That was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, every fucking week we would have movies and pizza and watch the Disney movie, whatever it was that week.
It's wonderful. No, my mom did not watch Disney movies. She watched this. She thought this was hilarious.
The movie was hilarious, though.
So.
What was it? At around 46 minutes, in Miss Mann's office, there's actually a Nazi uniform hanging to the right of her.
Oh, that's great.
The character Sharon Elizabeth plays is called Buffy. The character's obvious spoof of Helen Shivers, What I Know What You Did from Last Summer, played by Sarah Michelle Gellar, who famously played Buffy Summers, the Vampire Slayer, for 7 years. So basically, they're just making fun of Buffy and What I Know What You Did Last Summer all in one fucking film.
Yep.
Which is great.
Yeah, they had a knack for trying to get that. They got those comedy shots in, and even though they were cheap, they knew what type of movie they were making. You know, they
definitely did. But they made it to where it was actually worked, and it wasn't just fucking there to just be there. It actually made sense and it was funny as fuck.
I'm a huge B movie fan. My wife and I will turn on a
Yeah.
B, C rated movie, terrible, shot with a fucking video camera in somebody's garage movie, just so we can laugh, you know? And anytime a movie thinks or knows what it really is and can go out and at least deliver what it is, that makes it worth it. So I think this is one of those movies that did that, and I think that's what made it over deliver. You know, they put the extra money to put that high budget in it, but it was still, what you say, 12 mil?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, you throw 12. I could throw 12. You know, if I had 12 million, let me wind that back. If I had money like that, I would throw 12 million. You know, on a chance for a comedy fucking movie. Look at Airplane, how well Airplane did. A lot of those parody movies were killing it.
Yeah, exactly. Especially at that time period, that was the time for those kind of movies, and they just hit it at the perfect time period.
The 2000s,
90s. Weird.
The 2000s had so many bad movies going on. That was the era. That was the time of all of those bad teen movies.
That Was Up that you were talking about, because they were making fun of the Budweiser commercial from '99, but that actually made them go on to make more Was Up fucking catchphrase commercials until about 2002 because of this.
So the original Was Up. I remember coming out Super Bowl commercial. I remember how big that was. Everybody did it in school and shit. And it was dying down. Now that you say that, I remember it was dying down. And then the movie came out, and yeah, you're right. Just like fucking memes. And then when memes came back, that's when it came back. Because it came back in 2010 plus. I can't remember when. Recently, it was fucking back again. So, like...
Jesus.
You know, they kept that commercial alive, because I guarantee many kids did not see that commercial nowadays, but they can still do What's Up.
Little Kim was supposed to be Brenda.
I don't know how she would have done.
I don't know, but she was considered for the role of Brenda Meeks.
I mean, maybe she would...
I understand why she was considered.
Oh, yeah, because they made a lot of, you know, black woman... bodily jokes, and Little Kim had all of them features plus.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Greg's car, I guess, is a 1997 BMW 540i, if we needed to know that. That's a random what the fuck act.
Yeah, I didn't even know Kevin Hart was in there.
Was he in this one?
Was he in this
He
one?
was in the third and the fourth one.
Oh, he was in the terrible ones. That's why I don't really remember it.
Him and Anthony Anderson. They were in them together. I definitely fell off on those because they were so bad. So bad.
So 3 of the Brady Bunch kids' names were in the movie. Greg, Buffy's boyfriend, and 2 of the youngest children, Bobby and Cindy.
Yeah. I mean...
So apparently they're using those names intentionally for the white people.
But those, I thought, aren't those the same names from the actual Scream movie? Or did they make up those names?
No, that's the names that they used from Brady Bunch was from 1969. So basically, they're using old names from the Brady Bunch for the names for the movie.
Right, but what I'm saying is, were those the same names from the Scream movie?
I don't think so. I'm not sure though. You'd have to look that up.
I will tell you.
But from the What the Fuck facts,
it was not
saying it was from Brady Bunch.
It was Billy and Casey. Steve, Sydney. Sydney was the real name. Sydney they kept. Sydney they kept.
But Sydney was also a Brady Bunch, so they could have taken the original one. Could have taken it from fucking Brady Bunch, even because it's 1969 Brady
Cindy
Bunch
was the Brady Bunch, right? Not Sydney. But yeah, so the Gail, Billy, Steve. Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, so they you're right. They took those names for Scary Movie. I didn't know if they had brought those character names over. I knew Brenda was a made up name, and you know, and then the whole Sean Wayne character being the straight gay football player.
Yeah.
Definitely hitting it with the stereotypes. They had the scene with the tattoos on the back. They took that from Dude, Where's My Car? They had that scene in there.
The comms radio station number was 555 Face. That radio station that around 11 minutes into the movie, I guess, that they were talking on the radio, and then they were saying their phone number, but if you look at the numbers, it's 555 Face.
All right.
Which is kind of funny because of the Was Up face. and the Shots Beer Company sign that was in the principal's office.
There was a beer company sign in the principal's office?
Yeah, it's also because it's the beer company in Laverne and Shirley, who David Lander played Squiggly, so that's why they did that, because he was in Laverne and Shirley.
That is not something I had known before.
Well, there you go, man. I'm getting these weird what the fuck facts that I just pulled up,
Learning.
man. IMDb trivia is awesome sometimes, man. You do some research and you can find some weird shit.
I mean, hey. I mean, IMDb's got some good stuff. I mean, so one of the best things about the movie is how many awards it got. Did you see how many things crazy it's...
Oh, my... I forgot how many
so
awards do that.
It's got 7 wins, 6 nominations. Winner, Blockbuster Entertainment Award, Favorite Actress, Supporting Actress, Favorite Actor, and Favorite Actor. So the Wayans brothers were nominated for Favorite Actors. BMI Film, Boogie Awards. So they've got some German awards, MTV Awards, Best Cameo in a Movie, James Van Der Beek, Breakthrough Female Performance.
Dude, I bet they couldn't remake White Chicks today, though.
Oh, no, there's no way they could remake that. They couldn't, honestly, I don't know how much of this movie they could remake.
Yeah, I don't
They
think
could
they
edit and change a lot of the stuff, but a lot of the jokes they made, there was a lot of...
The only reason I think that they could get away with it is because they're both black.
I wouldn't think if they remade
If a white guy
movies.
tried to make this movie today, hell no. It wouldn't
Yeah, they
happen.
couldn't,
But if you
really.
make like the Wayans brothers or somebody that's like the same race as whatever they're making fun of, that's can be okay. But
Now,
then you're gonna have the other side making.
It's everybody's up and tight right now,
You got-
especially...
I know it's ridiculous. Like
you don't...
some of it is a little
I
bit.
think
but
Hollywood...
then-
I don't think we'll see another movie like Scary Movie. I don't think anybody will touch it.
yeah,
No.
I don't think so.
Because, I mean, this not only had the humor, it had a lot of the grossness. You know, it really hit hard on a lot of things. And
Yeah, like some of like the over
Like
sexualization.
most of the scary movies nowadays are like either fucking Blair Witch type of shit, Ghost,
yeah,
scary movies. You know, like
I don't think I haven't seen... They haven't really come out with parody movies recently.
no, not really.
No, those are pretty much died
They're
out.
Garbage.
We all forget Stu though,
Scary
man.
horror movies.
How
are
can we
just
forget Stu?
Really on the bottom of the list when it comes to
Was
movies.
Stu a parody?
No, but the fact that it was Matthew Liard, whatever, however you pronounce his last name, fucking Shaggy, went on to play fucking Shaggy and Scooby Doo.
Right.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I thought that was cool.
But that he was...
Maybe I'm stupid.
I mean, I know he was in the original Scary Movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just think it's kind of cool that he was in that, and then he goes on and he plays in a kids movie basically later.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got to look at the whole Scream cast. I mean, look at the cast of both movies. Actually, hit it big either way, right? I mean, every one of those people, they didn't go with smaller people. David Arquette, you know, Courtney Cox.
Well, at the
Neve
time,
Campbell.
a lot of them weren't. Some of them were no names.
Right, that's
though,
what I'm saying.
At
Like
the time,
that movie launched.
They just
people,
happened to-
and then in conjunction with this movie,
which is
launching
weird.
people, you know.
because you don't really think of it as like a career launching movie. Like it was a parody movie. Like it wasn't meant to be like any like serious like role taking award winning movie, but somehow or another it still won several awards.
Hey, that's how you know it was a well written movie.
Yeah, back then in 2000 era, you know, or was it like H said, there wasn't really good movies in the 2000 eras.
Yeah,
Really?
no, that was a whole time of. I mean, you were getting like Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo back then, right? And that's the kind of movies that were coming out around then. She's All That, all those bad movies, because then they went on to come out with the Not Another Teen Movie parody,
Like American Pie,
yeah, all
all
American
that
Pie, all that
shit.
shit.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
all around 2000s. So
Yeah, that American Pie shit was terrible. But
they made like
it
20
was kind of funny.
movies too, man. Those movies,
I can't believe how many of those
bro,
movies
they went on
made,
to
man. Like,
fucking
there's
they milked that shit.
Yeah, they made a lot of money off
They
that
just-
shit, though.
Yeah, yep, they milked it.
that proverbial tea.
American Pie.
That was another that. That fucking movie. That was another movie that launched a ton of fucking careers.
Oh,
Oh
shit.
yeah.
All those shits did. I guess that's the perk, right? Like you do one of those kids movies or teen movies, and you just keep going. You get remembered by people of that generation, that age.
That's what happened.
Yep.
I mean, it worked. I mean, they got into people's heads, and they all got
Yeah,
their
and also when it
names
comes to
out
acting,
there.
Yeah, for sure.
getting into acting is really hard.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Besides, if you're like a father, your father's acting or something like that, then their kids and generations easy to get on.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean, even
besides that, I don't know. They made the money.
Don't die now, man. Don't die.
Scary Movie, honestly, probably made more money outside of the United States than inside the United States.
oh for sure.
Really?
Oh, a lot of countries love making fun of the United States, and that's one of those typical teen movies. So I'm sure people loved watching it and saying, "Look at stupid Americans."
What American?
Americans. Yeah, they probably took it as a documentary and shit. I mean, and I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
This
like
is a
looking at
document.
fucking our country,
True.
you can't blame them to be fucking honest. I mean, fuck. Our news
Fucking
at one point
Russia.
was like watching a fucking movie, so still is.
I
It
was.
still is. Everyone's fighting. No one,
Dude, they don't
There's
even tell you the news anymore. It's just a bitch fest on who's I'm right, you're right.
Everybody
Nope,
just needs.
you're
everybody
wrong.
just needs
I'm
a
right.
blunt and a smile.
And who's telling the truth?
No one.
Neither
No
one of them.
is.
Right?
Like, unless you want to actually go do your own research online and like listen to some podcasts, they'll tell you the
BBC is
truth.
pretty good.
Read the newspaper. The newspaper
I like to-
will.
Yeah,
That's
if you
not-
want to
that's one
listen,
thing,
to,
like-
you want some actual American politics, go listen to. You want the real truth? Go listen to something outside of
Yeah,
our country. They'll tell you the truth
I'll
about
wa-
what's actually
that's
going
how I
on.
watch our
Pretty
country.
much. 'Cause
they don't
I
give a
watch-
fuck.
I like to watch other countries' news of us. BBC is
Yep.
great. Fucking
It
BBC is great. World news.
Yeah.
So,
If you need to know what's actually going on, go look at those sources.
and then you'll see that
'Cause
you'll
they
see
don't
they fucking
have
are
a-
laughing at us. Can I point that out?
Yeah.
They are laughing at us just like we're laughing at this movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's insane in the middle?
it happens. It happens. I mean, well,
Dude, I love the pumpkins on all your guys behind you.
oh yes,
Both of you.
dude. These guys are creepy, man. They're like my little creepy trick or treaters. Like there's like another one on the other side over here.
Nah, with this fucking Starry Night fucking poster and
Yeah, so
fucking-
I've got the female one over there on the other side.
Damn. I didn't do shit for Helen up. I mean,
And then I got my Beetlejuice sign, of course.
the outside has
Yeah.
some shit up. Like we got to blow up shit in the front yard, and my son decorated pumpkins.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm just not a decorated person.
I just like to decorate.
I
That's
was
just
gonna.
me.
I can change the background. Hold on, I'll change the color. I didn't even turn on all my lights. I wasn't even paying attention.
I was gonna say, you don't really have anything but your just like your logo most of the time, don't you?
Yeah, no, I've got I bought, so these are all the Philips lights, so I'm gonna connect it to Lumia
Yeah.
one day, so I can do all that cool Lumia light stuff above me. I just got this all set up. I just finished doing that.
I'm thinking about getting some of those like Lumia lights to put inside of these cubes and stuff. I think it would look pretty dope. And have the cubes flash and stuff.
Yeah. So
And I want to add some extra lighting above here too, because this is a little bit like this area here, because now I put the shelving unit in here. It's a little darky.
that's what's up. Yeah, recent upgrades and changes and stuff. So I just got a message from the wife. Oh, I've got a picture of my son as Pikachu this year. Yeah.
Oh, nice. He wants to be the bear.
Yep.
Gary.
So I had a
Matt is just like giving up on life there, just like your shirt's wide open.
Hell yeah, that's how he does it. He doesn't button his shirt up all the way.
Yeah, that's true.
Show
But he
you,
also had a
you
way
gotta show
hairier
the
chest than you
hair
did.
And the wannabe 6-pack.
With all your new fresh incisions.
Yes.
How are you
indeed.
doing on the way on those, man?
Yeah.
You doing
Oh,
okay? Sitting up?
It's fine. No, it's more comfortable than yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, at least they did
That's for
the.
sure.
At least it's in the new age now, where they don't have to really slice you open.
I'm just really taking ibuprofen. They prescribed me like oxycodone and stuff, but like every time I took it, I would just throw up. I
Oh,
was just like,
yeah.
it was
I
like,
wouldn't try. Just smoke some more weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, smoke weed and take ibuprofen.
Exactly.
That's the cure
Okay.
nowadays.
Yeah, I gotta take some ibuprofen for my finger. I jammed it pretty bad at jiu-jitsu.
My feet's been swelling, so I've been taking them. It's funny. I've been asking my wife. I'm like, should I go to the doctor? She's like, no. I think you're just getting older. And I'm like, damn. Because I mean, it gets to a point where you just stop going to the doctor, and you're like, damn, that's just life. I'm just now stuck with this for the rest of my life. And my wife is like, I think you're at that point. And I'm like, damn. And she's like, no, I'm just kidding. Your foot's fucking swollen. You can just go to the doctor. But
I just fucked my finger up somehow.
Yeah, that's
I don't
why
know
I'm
how.
not
Oh,
with the knee.
I got a dog.
not with your knee.
Want to have another surgery, but I don't want to have another
Hey,
surgery.
you want to feel better, but I mean, fuck. Surgery.
Right?
Yeah,
Fucking
surgery does not
Takes
sound
time
like
away
it'd be
from
fun.
working.
Well, I'm supposed to have surgery as well, but unfortunately, my company doesn't have enough people right now. I could go to surgery. They're not telling me not to go, but I wouldn't be able to talk for like
What is
3
it you do again?
weeks. Huh? I'm tech.
What is it
I
you
do
again?
like IT project management.
Okay. Could you do that from home while you were on? You're doing your thing.
Partially. So half the time I'm going to be hopped up on drugs because I need to get my tonsils out.
Oh, got you. I didn't know what surgery it was.
Yeah, no, I need to get my tonsils out and then need to do some things in the throat. But I also have to stop streaming for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, because you can't
Anyway,
really talk.
but I don't even. And I'm more worried about when I come back if I can even do a catchphrase. I do the bear den, right, with the deep growl.
Yeah.
And if they fuck with my throat, can I?
Bear
I don't know.
den.
Bear. I don't know if I'll be able to do it.
I love that when your son tries to do
Bro,
it.
my son, he's good at it, man. I'm telling you. Check it out.
Because his voice is changing and it's
He's
getting
getting
deeper.
it.
He's gonna eventually have a deep voice like you.
He is getting bigger too.
Right.
Bro, so
Oh yeah, he's gonna be able to take you here pretty soon.
that is my biggest fear. So I don't know if you've seen on stream. We were playing. He wanted to play this baseball stream, the old school baseball game on stream, like old school, like Tecmo baseball or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this would be great. And I was just, playing. It's one of those games though. If you push up and then you hit the ball, always home run. That's just one of those games. So, but he doesn't know that. So we're playing, and he's like, oh, Daddy, I'm gonna, he's getting there, and he started talking trash. And I was like, all right, well, I was going to let you win, but, if you're going to talk trash. And I just started every hit, bop, home run, bop, home run, bop, home run, bop. Daddy, you're so good at this game. Yeah, I am. He's like, wow, okay. I don't really want to play anymore. I was like, nah, you got to sit here and take this ass whooping, son. So, you're not going to talk. Yeah, you're not going to talk trash and then walk away. You going to learn your lesson. So, more of the story is that my son does not play sports games with me anymore. And I tried to teach him early. I put the fear of God into him, so he does not want to play me at any point in his life, and just will always think that I'm better than him at sports games and sports in general.
Oh my goodness.
But he is cocky, so
he'll eventually start
he
realizing
will.
that he's getting bigger
he will
than
figure
you.
it out, yeah, and he'll want revenge. And I'm just gonna say my finger.
And he'll get it.
I don't have to answer to him, ever.
until he's twice your size and
I still
looking
don't have
down
to
on
answer
you.
to him. I brought him into this.
I don't dance.
I brought you into this world. I'll take you out. I know a special.
As he lifts you up off the
So
ground.
okay. So here's the thing, right? I am larger, way larger than my mother. I became larger than my mother at like the age of 12. But my mother is also ex-military, and one thing she did, once I was able to look eye to eye to her, that is when she stopped, spankings. It came to, she used to do this thing where she would grab me, pull me in, and punch me right in the chest, like right here where you can't breathe
That's
anymore,
old school discipline.
and then let go. And it happened so quickly, you didn't know it just happened. So I'd be like, yo, what just happened? And she'd be like, nothing. And like to this day, she'll deny that she does it. To this day, my mother denies that she did that, but I know for a fact she would do this. It was like Scorpion. Like, I don't even know how quickly she would get across the room. Like, if I said something disrespectful, it would be one of those, real quick. So I'm gonna have to master that move once he gets bigger than me, because I'm not gonna let him talk down to me ever.
Dude, oh my god. I started doing wrestling in like 5th grade or something like that. My dad would play wrestle with me all the time at home. After I started getting kind of good at it, he's like, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah, he didn't want to lose. That's what I'm saying. He didn't want to lose.
No, he was getting his ass whooped, and he wasn't liking
that's
it
what I'm
at
saying.
all, because I was starting to take it a little serious, because I'm like, whop. He's like, what the fuck, where'd that come from?
No man wants to know that his child can kick his ass. Hey,
Dude, my dad's 5'8", and I'm 6 foot tall.
It doesn't matter. I tell you, I guarantee he probably still hopes that he can kick your ass. He probably knows he can't, but he hopes that he would get a shot in to
But
kick
he's probably
your
in
ass.
better shape than me. He might have a chance. He can definitely outrun my ass, that's for sure.
I guarantee he still thinks he can take your ass then.
He don't smoke, and he can outrun my ass.
And I guarantee I am not letting my son take me.
But he doesn't know any form of martial arts, and I'm learning jujitsu, and I got pretty good at wrestling.
See,
so I have a
my
better
goal
chance.
is to stay in my son's life to know what he's doing, so I can always one up him. Like
There
just
you go.
forever.
I mean,
like
there's a lot of dads that do jujitsu with their kids. I mean, it'd be something fun to do with your kid. I mean,
yeah, that'd be cool.
Gracie Barra jujitsu, and it would teach him some discipline.
I kind of don't want my son to know how to kick people in the face right now. That'd be.
No, it's not that kind of
was it.
sport. It's
That
a
was
grappling
joke,
thing.
But I know.
They don't kick or hit, or there's no punching or
No,
anything.
we
That's
actually
what I'm saying. It's
we
a
actually
grappling
put him
sport.
in capoeira for a little bit, so he did that for a little bit.
Okay. So that's kind of
yeah.
similar, except it's a little bit more of
That was more kicking him in the face. That's where that came from, actually. Not that he has.
That's why I'm saying jujitsu probably is it's not to kicking. You just putting them in really weird principal positions and making it to where they can't
No,
move.
it's not that he's ever kicked anybody in the face. I want to clarify that.
Now,
my son is he's not violent.
some of these moves, if you take them further, dislocate certain parts of the body?
Oh yeah. I mean, I definitely would love to be able to get him into it. I don't know where his head. I need to toughen him up a little bit.
I mean, don't force him to do it, but I'm just
We've
saying.
been trying to figure out what exactly he wants to do after school, whether it's a sport or we're definitely leaning towards Boy Scouts right now, because he does love the outside and
Scouts was always fun. I did Scouts.
So did
It was
I.
good.
I loved.
It's good
I
for
learned
you.
a lot.
I love that.
My grandfather was a scout leader.
Exactly. And I was one of those people. I followed the book.
Rest in peace, Grandpa.
Definitely. Rest in peace.
I did them all. I did sports, Boy Scouts. I was busy.
Yeah, I did them all too. So
When
I
I was a
did
kid.
football and baseball and Scouts.
I tried to do football for a little bit. I wasn't a bigger dude, so I kind of got my ass kicked too many times as a running
I
back.
found out something as an adult that hurt my feelings more than anything. So growing up, I had a little bit of a weight problem. So football, you had to weigh a certain weight to play. My mom didn't sign me up until I was at the weight of the final weight class, 150. And I missed weight for like half the games of that season. I used to cry. It was very terrible. Like, I worked out hard.
Yeah.
I did the best. I found out when I was adult.
That would be why you didn't want to try doing wrestling.
Well, I found out when I was
would
adult,
fucking-
my mother purposely overfed me to make sure I didn't make weight.
What?
Oh,
She did
wow.
not want me. I
That's
found out when I
so-
was an adult, my mother did not want me to play football.
But
I wanted to play
she
so
did save
bad.
you from some head injuries.
Well, I played high school football though. So actually, I think if anything, I didn't have proper technique, and I actually hurt my knee playing football.
Gotcha.
So
I got a few minor concussions, but
I did. I did too. Actually,
easy.
I had a concussion last year, and they found out that I had a bunch of other ones that made the one last year pretty bad. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's what she didn't want me to play.
I played
and she was overfeeding me. She
concussion.
would purposely take me and feed me more food because she knew I like to eat, and make me miss weight for football.
Yeah, I was way better at baseball and wrestling anyway, so that's what I
was
stuck
trash
to.
at baseball, but I played it. I played that for like fucking 10 years.
I was a pretty good catcher. I just couldn't hit very well. That was my issue.
I had to hide fucking rocks in my pants to meet the weight class.
Because you were too skinny?
I was too skinny.
Oh man.
Dude, that luckily with wrestling there's weight classes, so and if you don't beat the weight, they'll let you still do it if you're crazy enough to want to fucking try it. And my coach was a bit of an asshole and made me wrestle up a weight class, so I was about $160 wrestling at $180.
Wrestling was,
and that's about 20 pounds of muscle. That makes a fucking difference.
See, I didn't run into wrestling until I was in high school, and at that point, I joined day one, and the first thing they said is, all right, pair up with somebody that's your same weight class. Now, I was 350 day one in high school. That was my freshman.
They had me paired up with a girl for a while.
Yeah, well, at that point, they said, put the person on your shoulders. I am looking at this fat slob across from me that they wanted me to put on my shoulders. I said, I'm good, and I walked the fuck out. And that's when that is my story of wrestling.
I got lucky, I guess, because the girl that they had me wrestling with was not terrible looking. So I was like,
that's what I'm saying.
Cool.
So I was but I played football, right? So I was 350 solid. Like, I looked good 350. I looked over and I may have looked at like Yokozuna fucking 350, right? Like slob.
Yeah, you're like,
and
nah, fuck
this guy. I don't fucking care. And I had already,
you would have dominated though if you were actually a lot muscular instead of fucking that. You would have been able to throw those fat fucks
it's funny
around.
though, because like, so freshman in high school, my coach was like, I don't want any of you pussies on my team unless you can bench 350 to start. So that is what I started benching as a freshman in high school, because I went to I was working out with the varsity boys because I was that big. And so that's what I started lifting at. So, I mean, it's not that I could, because he was like, if you're going to be on my line, you need to lift your weight plus 100 pounds. So I was benching 450 by like my sophomore year.
Well, yeah, because you got to be able to push the other guy back.
And that's what, and we'd have our lift-a-thons, squatting, all that, and
I personally think that fucking football is worse for head injuries and body injuries than actually doing a martial art. Because at least in a martial art, you have a chance of tapping out or saying that that's good, I can't take that anymore, or something like that. Or
we would have fucking military.
Like, I mean, you're getting hit in the head if you're doing mixed martial arts or something.
The newer
like
football
that,
rules and teaching tackling nowadays, it's better. But back in the day, when we were doing 2 days in the Florida heat and all we had was a hose to drink out of, they didn't care. It's different now.
No,
they don't do that.
Run hills and
it's
shit
cleaner now,
full pads and fucking running the whole fucking like bleachers up and down and full pads in the middle of fucking summer. And
bro, I remember after practice being told, okay, you're gonna have to run until you threw up because you did something wrong. That our coach would make you run till you vomited. That's how you knew you were done running for the day.
That sounds about about the normal school experience.
If anyone on the varsity team fucked up a play, the whole team would have to do bear crawls 100 yards back and forth, and I'm like, fuck that.
The worst story I've ever heard is our kicker in high school missed the final kick 2 years in a row to send us in the playoffs. He missed it 2 years in a row. You know, that third year, all he did was run. All he did was run. He never saw the fucking field, bro. The coach would go for it. He would never kick fucking field goals, but that is the life of football. He missed that kick 2 years in a row to send us to the playoffs.
Yep.
So that poor kid.
Nice. That was like the boys, Idaho, Boise State kicker back in the day. We were in high school. Fucking
one of
missed
my
that
buddies
kick and getting death threats and shit.
Shit's too serious.
One of my buddies who played soccer, who just liked to fuck with the football players because he refused to play, he could kick a field goal from one end of the field all the way from the other, accurately, mind you, all day, pretty much. And he would do it.
Yeah.
Like, he would just go there just to practice for fucking, like, because they just did it for like an accuracy test thing to see if he could do it. just for soccer and everything else. Because then if he could do that, he can nail it anywhere in the fucking goal too.
Yeah, a lot of soccer players can kick. They just don't want to move over to football. Football players. To football.
But all they got to do is fucking kick a ball.
Well,
and they can make it in the NFL.
Different.
Like if you can do that,
it is a little different.
We
right?
always
make it in the
grab
NFL.
If you put those
kickers.
balls on the tees that sit themselves, those kickers in the NFL can hit it from 70, 80 yards out. It's holding the ball. And then also be having to kick over 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" men jumping with their arms straight out. So you've got to now learn how to aim. There's a little bit more to it. And now, listen, I'm not saying they get paid billions of dollars to kick a fucking football.
I mean, they're one of the least paid people on the football team, but they also have the longest contracts because they have the longest careers. Because you can sit there, you're not really getting hit very many times.
Yeah.
And you're getting really well protected.
Though,
so most of the time, you're just kicking a ball, and all you gotta do is make sure you keep that leg healthy and don't break that shit.
Keep that strength, really.
But it's a lot of pressure to not do anything. Most of those guys are sitting on the fucking sidelines all game, and then called on to win the fucking game.
I get that, the pressure,
bro.
But
I don't care how much billions
of dollars
they paid. That's pressure to be
in soccer.
sitting.
They're always in that pressure mode because they don't get very many goals.
They're running. They're warm the whole time. I'm talking. You're cold.
Yeah.
Like you have to go from 0 to 100.
But that's why you see a lot of them on the side always just sitting there, kick, kick, so that they are still fucking warm.
Like nowadays, like the NFL, like their uniforms, they have like fucking built-in leg warmers in their pants and shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the technology nowadays, it's just.
I mean, but they're also nailing it from further nowadays. The dude hit a 56 or some shit, 54 in fucking London the other day.
Sports drink.
To win the game, he hit a 52 at the beginning, and then like a 51, and then a 54. I was watching it because it was the only game on Sunday or some shit. It was fucking crazy.
Even hitting 65 yards, like fuck.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
hitting
it better
just
and better
off a fucking tee is still whoa.
Yeah, it's ridiculous still to be able to do that. Like, I don't understand how anybody's able to do that kind of craziness. But, dude, they get paid a crap ton of money. In the end, they're actually have the longest careers, and sometimes they end up making a heck of a lot more money than some of them big names because they're there a lot longer collecting that paycheck.
Yeah, and also majority of the kickers.
There's a lot of kickers that are like in their freaking
their workouts
50s, some
are
of them.
way different than
late 40s.
Yeah, on the field. They're
they started in their
20s. From 5 a.m. to like probably fucking 4 at night.
Oh yeah,
and then in the weight room doing legs lift majority of the time. But yeah, most of those kickers in the NFL will fucking squat like 1,000+ pounds.
They're fucking. Oh my god, no, they're beasts.
Though their legs, they do not skip leg day.
They definitely do not. Look at Pat McAfee, man.
Their jeans don't last very long because they got thick old thighs.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the same way with soccer players too. If you look at them, dude, their freaking legs and shit are built the same way. That's why you can get them to be able to transfer over to being a kicker if you can train them to do that kind of shit.
It's a different kind of kicking. I know a lot of soccer.
I mean, that's why you see. But I mean, look at like Patrick Mahomes and what's his name, Kaepernick. They're both were fucking pitchers in baseball, and now they're fucking like NFL football.
Well,
fucking
only one of them in the NFL, but yeah,
that was the same thing. Tom Brady was a pitcher.
Well, they were. Colin Kaepernick's gonna be the goddamn NFL.
Yeah.
Come on.
But yeah, no, Russell.
It's goddamn Colin Kaepernick. Come on,
but
man.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, I'm not saying nothing because you got Russell Wilson. He was drafted as well. He was a pitcher.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston was a pitcher.
But he just had Colin Kaepernick just literally has a fucking Netflix special. He's going to be in the motherfucking.
Maybe. I mean.
Come on.
We know he was black.
Well, if nothing else, he's making a ton of money off that Netflix
We know
special.
he was black.
What's his face? Gronk. Gronk actually played baseball too.
Yeah, Gronk played
high school.
I mean, there's a lot of people that just transfer sports.
One sport to another.
But what was funny about Colin Kaepernick, he was actually like they were going to sign him as a fucking baseball player, and he decided he didn't want to play baseball.
Yeah.
He's like, nah,
Yeah.
fuck that shit. I want to be a football player. I'm like, why would you choose something that's going to hurt you worse? Like, you could play baseball a hell of a lot longer and make just as much money.
Yeah, but it's a longer grind. It's a longer grind. I mean, you're
Yeah,
you're,
it
you're
is a
in
longer
the minors
season.
a lot longer because when you sign, just because you get signed, you still got to work your way from AAA to
Yeah.
AA, and you got to work your way up.
Yeah.
Or from A to AA,
And
then
then you gotta
AAA.
play their seasons.
Yeah, I mean,
True.
you got
and you can get with the NFL, you
yeah,
get straight
you
straight
could
on.
not see the majors for 10 years signing in MLB.
Like also their off season in baseball is way shorter than football is.
Oh yeah.
Like they're off. Like they're not even off right now. They're playing the World Series right now.
Yep.
But like in a couple more months, they'll be back at it.
Spring training. Shit, the Yankees do spring training right here. Up the street from me, so I'm gonna go check them out this year. I'm excited.
Yeah, the Mariners go down to Arizona. It's crazy. How they
I think the
have all
Cardinals
these-
kind of just go like down to southern Missouri,
Well,
but I'm not sure where the hell they go. If I
like
remember
the fucking
correctly.
Cowboys. Like Cowboys don't even practice in Texas. They got their own practice field in California.
Yeah.
Like the only time they practice in Texas is during the regular season.
yep.
That, my friend, is fucking kind of weird.
I'm pretty sure the Chiefs just practice here in fucking town.
A lot of teams don't practice at their facility. The Jets don't. I know they don't. The Giants, they each
Yeah.
would for like spring training and stuff. They go away from reporters and fans.
That makes sense. Dude,
Yeah,
have
we
you
our
seen
own
some of these
practice
like
fields.
TikToks and stuff of like Patrick Mahomes' fucking brother's shit that he's been putting out?
I've been avoiding all
Dude,
of that shit. I've seen it. I've heard
Patrick
it.
looks so fucking
I've
sad,
seen it
man.
and I've heard it, but I just avoid it because
He looks so
Didn't his
sad.
brother die or something?
Did what?
Didn't his brother died or something?
no, his brother's just acting a fool.
No. Brother's just acting a fool. Like, he's just making himself be a TikTok star out of his brother, basically.
I mean,
Off the Mahomes name, he's making himself a TikTok star.
I would shut that shit
and him
down
and,
personally.
and
but-
Brittany's all on board with it.
Oh yeah, of course she is. Because she's relevant again. Because she's all over Twitter and shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Pat, he does not like it. He likes his personal life and his work life to be separate.
yeah, that ain't happening though.
You can tell though that's the way he likes it because he does not like what the fuck's going on. Those looks like in those videos.
I mean, I wouldn't either.
Oh yeah, Mahomes is one of those people that's like laid back
Yeah.
type of characters. He doesn't go out and party. He just fucking works. Makes that money.
Yeah. He makes that
$500
money and then
million.
spends it on things that make him more money. Like he's an owner in the fucking Royals. He's an owner in the soccer team that's here too. He's spending his money very, very wisely.
Yeah, majority of these athletes nowadays can fucking afford a team later on.
Well,
when
they
retire.
can, but not all of them are actually being smart and spending it that way, though.
Yeah.
They're not. There's not a lot of them that got a good head on their head like that for business, because I think that's what he went to school for, was for business. And so why he's doing this, he's running it like a business.
Yeah.
He's being smart and playing the long game because he knows he can't play football forever. But if he's an owner in all these different teams, he'll make some good money off of that and just stay here in Kansas City or live wherever the heck he wants to. I guess if he can still be an owner and live wherever the heck he wants.
Yeah.
But I think he kind of likes it here. That's why he's making freaking Whataburger come here, man.
Fucking $500 million.
You got that into. I don't know how you managed to get that into your fucking contract. I want Whataburger. If I can't get Whataburger, I ain't signing.
Well, even the owner, like thinking if you're the owner, signing someone to a $500+ million contract, almost $1 billion. Like, would you
He's
take
locked
that
in
risk?
though for good.
Like, honestly.
Basically, his
Damn.
career is just
What's
with
it-
the Chiefs,
I
but
just have to open a.
and he spent
I
it
just have to
wisely.
open a Whataburger franchise. Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah, you win one Super Bowl and then you get all this money. Look at Tom Brady.
Yep.
He has fucking 6 Super Bowls and
Well,
all his money is off advertisements.
especially when the Chiefs haven't won a Super Bowl since the goddamn 80s. And until he came in, we hadn't won a Super Bowl since then, and then we were in a Super Bowl twice. Like, boy earned his money.
Yeah, the Hunt family, they were desperate for that win.
Yep.
Boy's earning his money, though, man. He's earning it. He's still one of the best freaking quarterbacks in the NFL. We're having a bad fucking season this year, but he's still showing up and showing out. It's not a lot of his fault. It's a lot of the fucking defense.
You know, it's
our defense is
my fault for drafting him.
needs some fucking work. But you,
Yeah,
Patrick,
it's my fault for drafting him in fantasy.
Same thing with Seattle. I kind of want Pico gone.
Yeah, his time is run.
His
time is run.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
not doing anything.
Sick of him. He hasn't really been doing anything.
I mean, did he really do anything before? It seemed like the defense did all the work. Was he the defensive coordinator when they won?
No.
Yeah.
There was
someone else. Defense and Marshawn.
Yeah.
And then they pissed Marshawn. Then they pissed Marshawn off by not giving him the ball on the one. So he said, "Deuce." He left. Defense said the same thing. They said, "Shit, you guys can't get your shit together on offense." They left. Since then, Pete Carroll ain't never been the same.
Right. I wouldn't honestly. I wouldn't mind if Russell Wilson left the team. I would have been like, about time you did.
I don't even know how I feel about him. Like, I mean, I know he puts up the numbers, but like, I don't know. I don't feel great about him.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback. He's a good passer and all, but like, he just needs. I don't know.
I mean, he's better than I am. So that.
Yeah.
I can't talk, right? But all things considered.
Yeah. Matt's lost his freaking fantasy football team at this point for smoke circle stuff.
Yeah, I give up after fucking quarterback issues went down and running backs issue. I'm like,
oh man,
fuck it.
I can't believe you got beat by a team with no fucking quarterback.
You did?
No.
Oh,
I did.
Ooh.
Fucking Derrick Henry scored 100+ points that night.
Oh man.
Of course I was going to lose.
Oh man.
We were beating Tennessee's ass, and then all of a sudden, the beast mode fucking of all humans came out and just ran over us. 200+ yards, 3 touchdowns, like it was nothing.
I don't know. This week might be my week to go down. I haven't lost yet.
Derrick Henry, dude, he's such a good fucking running back, but like, no one in the NFL can't take him down.
I haven't lost yet. I need Mahomes and Kelsey to link up a couple times, and I'll have a good weekend.
Yeah, dude. If they start linking up, you'll be fine.
Yeah. So
those two together,
they haven't had They've been okay this year. They've not been popping off, but they're playing the Giants.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill hasn't done shit.
I mean, it's still just the beginning of the season too. You have to understand. Patty likes to come back from fucking nowhere. He likes to have that pressure, I guess. I don't know why, but the boy just can't put it together till he's put on the freaking pressure on the freaking 50-yard line and said, "Here, now you have to fucking do it, or we're not going to the game." All right,
that's what I've been telling people. I've been like, at least he's not struggling. If he was like, he's not doing great, but he's not struggling.
It's not his fault. A lot of it. It
a lot of
it's
touching
just the
their
defense.
hands. So numbers wise, yeah. But I'm watching him put the balls in players' hands.
Yeah, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's doing his job. It's just they're not getting it done. It's not just him. It's a freaking team effort. People got to understand that.
They normally their standard. I mean, you
no,
can't have
not.
Mahomes
really,
out there. I mean, if you don't have him out there running and gunning, I guess. But
yeah, but I mean, that's how he had to start off because that's how he had to start it because our defense was crap at the beginning. But they started getting better. But then now they're getting worse again.
They're better than what they're playing.
Like
they're
what are you guys doing?
Right now, for sure.
Are you guys like upset or something? What's going on here? Like, what? Did somebody not get their contract paid? What's going on? What needs to happen? What needs to happen to make this happen, man? Because we need the wins again. Because this is feeling like the old Chiefs again, and I don't like.
Well,
that was rough.
That's the one thing about
time period for 10
well,
plus years.
the thing with the Chiefs is they can win. It's their defense that's doing the harm.
Here's the thing: it's Andy Reid. This is exactly what he did.
Yeah, well, Andy Reid never really had a good defense.
Well, this is what he does. This is what he does. He did
career.
the same thing with the Eagles.
He's got great offense.
He built a great team around McNabb. You know, the whole time he was there, even and they won the one time they got there, and then the rest of the time they just kept winning, but they never got there again.
Yeah,
like he produces good teams, but he doesn't produce great teams.
Like Dallas.
No, Dallas is a dumpster fire.
I remember in my whole childhood, they go 13-3, 12-4, 11-4, whatever. Enough for the win, and then when it comes to playoffs, they just lose.
My team's the Jets. They're trash, so I'm used to losing. I don't even watch them at all. I've become a fan of all football. That's how bad my team is. I'm a fan of every other team now because my team is so bad. So and now I need to know everything about every other team, so I sound intelligent when I say my team is bad. But I know about your team too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jets weren't bad back in the days.
Yeah, they were. They weren't great. They haven't had a great team, but they were okay. Tomlinson and a couple others, but no, we've never been good. I wish. Oh God.
What, the last time you got Jets won Super Bowl was fucking.
It's been years.
Back in.
I think it was Joe Namath.
Yeah, Joe Namath.
It was Joe Namath. Rex Ryan was the last time we hit like AFC playoffs, I think.
Yeah, that was the time where fucking
Mark Sanchez.
What, Mark Sanchez?
With Bart Scott on our defense, yeah. That was the only time we were relevant in my lifetime.
But yet again, it wasn't like really Mark Sanchez. It was usually the Jets defense was fucking dominant.
Oh yeah, it was a bomb ass fucking defense. If we had a quarterback, we would have won the whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, did you see that meme on Twitter that Edelman made?
No.
Towards Tom Brady. He was like, what did he say? Something about like, if you wanna, something about being the greatest, go to the Jets and fucking win a Super Bowl with them.
Yep. Yeah, that's how it was. I agree.
I'm like, at this point, Tom Brady can go to any team and probably still win a Super Bowl.
Like, he proved that factor when he went. I mean, kind of, because they were nothing before he was there, and now Tampa Bay actually has a fucking football
Yeah, but they
team.
also bought a bunch of pieces in as well. It was like LeBron James, right?
Fucking
it's not the same.
Ton of
yeah, it's not the same.
Well, they bought him and Gronk.
No, they brought in a lot of those players weren't there. Leonard Fournette got signed later.
I can't believe he was able to convince. How much money did they have to pay Gronk to get him out of retirement?
Well, Gronk just was. He didn't want to get thrown away by the Patriots. That's all that was. That's why he retired.
Yeah.
Gronk would have kept playing if they would have. He just didn't know what the Patriots were going to do with him. But that team is not the same team that was here because I'm in Tampa right now, so I know about the Bucs, and the team that Brady has is not the same team. They brought in so many pieces, like that offensive line, the whole fucking the running backs, wide receiver core. They added a ton of pieces.
How they're able to afford that is his name being there on that team, and that's what convinces a lot of those people to be like, "Yeah, I'll fucking play with Tom fucking Brady."
For sure.
But if you don't have that piece to start off with, you don't have a fucking that's like your ace in the hole type of situation. Where yeah, we give you this much money, but you get to play with Tom Brady and win a Super Bowl and make more money.
And then they draft a quarterback that sit behind.
Tom only signed $30 million too.
Yeah, Tom didn't sign for much. Short deal.
Dude, he didn't need to because he's got a shit ton of money
he just
already.
came to prove that he could do it without Bill.
He's like, dude, I've been fucking coaching that team pretty much, not you, Bill.
Because they were fighting.
And he was that's basically what had happened. Is him and Bill were basically the coaching staff, and he was fighting with him that his fucking old style of coaching wasn't going to work anymore, and that he needed to come to a newer way of playing, and
really...
that they could actually continue to win. And he didn't understand that his game smarts had become better than his, and now he's proven it.
Well, yeah, Bill Belichick's his mind of game is all about the defense. That's where his mind is at. He's not really an offensive guy.
Well,
that's why he never really calls any of the offensive plays for New England. He only calls the defensive plays, really.
It was a sad loss, but I mean, Brady fucking pulled point. He could beat Mahomes still. He's like, I can still beat that little kid. He's like, I'm old as shit. Like, how old? Like, the fact that he's that old and still fucking being able to be a quarterback is a crazy thing.
Yeah.
It's his...
Like, the fact that he's still playing.
He's
healthy,
on a whole...
techniques.
He's on a whole different diet regimen than anyone's been on before. Like, Giselle has him on this.
Yeah, like it's just...
His whole
like,
training.
we're seeing a whole different kind of athlete now coming out here now. We're seeing how long can one of these athletes actually be able to continue to play at the top of their game. And he's, like... with these kind of weird health regimens and stuff that they offer these days, man, apparently you can play for a lot longer and make a lot more money.
His wife is a vegan, too.
He's also,
so it's like,
he doesn't get hit as often.
You know.
Tom Brady does not.
Well, yeah, because he's actually got good fucking defense.
Well, he's smart. He gets the ball out. He's got one of the quickest release. People always say it's a Tom Brady rule because they don't. He's got one of the quickest releases in the game, and that's why he doesn't get hit often. Because he releases the ball so fast, people don't want to get hit with a roughing the passer. He gets hit, but not as much as other quarterbacks because his release is just, it's like that. And people don't have time to hit him.
Yeah, whereas like Patty will just fucking walk it out and run it if he has to, and he'll be crazy with it, which is not the smartest game plan for a long career, if that's what you want to continue to do.
Yeah, and also his arm strength is fucking gone.
Be honest, I'm thinking Patrick's in it for the one contract with the way he's spending his money. He's in it for that one contract, and then he's just going to be done with the fucking game, and then just have his money and be able to do his life the way he wants to, own businesses and have companies.
I think with his new with Brady's regiment and his time, the arm strength did get better, but I think it's more that he's now allowed to do more deeper passes too. I don't think Belichick loved, or whoever was running the offense, it was not a pass deep offense. Look at the guys they had on the team. They were more speedy, quick outs, route runners rather than a deep threat. You give him someone that was, look at when he had TL. He had arm strength then. He could, not TL, Randy Moss. When he had Randy Moss and he was told to just throw the ball in the end zone, he was able to go up and get it. I just think that I don't think we saw a decline in arm strength. I think we saw a smarter Brady wanting to save his arm because he didn't have to.
Yeah, well, it's like Josh McDaniels. That's their offense coordinator, right? But if you looked at the time when he was a coach for the Broncos, that's all he did was running the ball.
Yeah.
And that's what New England is about. It's running it, not much as passing it.
Yep.
I love how this podcast started a scary movie and turned into football out.
Yeah,
which is Matt's more knowledgeable subject, so that works out well in Matt's favor because he can actually get some talking in now too.
I can talk football for days.
Yeah, since apparently Mr. Semi-fucking professional over here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he just had a fucking injury. That's the reason he isn't playing fucking football.
Oh, yeah, dude. If I fucking did tore my ACL or MCL, I probably would have been in the NFL. I was like that type of player. But also, I hated school, so, like, going to college, that would have been tough. But
you were like, for the money, I would have done it.
But, like, I was thinking, like, when I did tore my ACL and stuff, like, I did tryouts for, like, the Canadian League and stuff like that. And yeah, it just fucking never worked out again. You know, it's like, it's just, once you tore that ligament in your knee, it's hard to get back into it. And my fear of thing was every time I got back on the field, I didn't want to tear it again.
Yeah.
So it's like that was the biggest thing in my head.
There's
like,
probably some
get
exercises
hurt.
now that they know that you could probably strengthen that though and get that back up a little bit. Just have to
It's
rehab
as big
it.
of a mental injury as it is a physical injury.
Yeah.
Because
Pretty
even though
much.
it may be strong enough for you to do it, mentally you have to be able to trust your body. And if you're afraid of that, you're never gonna be able to hit peak performance.
Do
You
it
won't hit
again.
peak speed. You'll be too. So
Yeah.
it's one of the biggest things. It's why I stopped playing football. I mean, I was never great, but I hurt my knee and my back, and I was like, shit, I don't want to. I want to be able to walk, so I said, fuck it. And mentally, I put back on my pads and went on the field just like and I finished out the season. But I was like, nah, I'm good. Like laying up in that trainer's office, not being able to move on your back is the worst fucking feeling in the world. So you're just like, nah, I'm good. So
I think that's kind of what happened to Jamal Charles too. He was starting to slow down there, and then he was getting too many injuries and everything, and just couldn't do it no more. But at his peak, man, that man was fucking lightning on fucking water. My God, that man could run. He won us a lot of fucking
Jamal
games.
Charles, man, he was great. I loved him back in the day. I loved watching him play.
That dude,
Yeah,
he was always one of my
beast.
favorites.
A guy that did not know how to read coming into high school and playing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck did you read the playbook if you don't know how to read?
We can read shapes
Well, yeah.
and look at arrows. He's not an idiot.
Well, it
He
depends
can still
on what
speak
kind.
English.
You can.
Well, most of the offense don't use the arrows or the X's and shit like that, too.
I mean, learning those plays is like learning another language in general as well, though. That's
Yeah.
the worst part, man.
But maybe he was able to speak that language better than he was
Pretty
able
much, I
to
don't know.
learn
Deaf
the
people
freaking.
fucking play football nowadays.
I mean, look at like Rain Man and shit like that. Situations where that kind of things come in handy. Like certain things are just people just happen to be really, really good
Yeah.
at.
I mean, you got people with
Yeah.
And
one
sometimes
arms.
everybody's put on this earth for something, and that it just happens to click at
You got
some
the dude with
point.
one arm. He's
Yeah.
playing right now. So I mean, you know, if you got the determination, you could do it. People will give you a chance.
yeah.
Griffin or Shaq Griffin. or
Look
some
how many
shit like
freaking
that.
streamers play with like no hands and shit, and they're still playing games and making money
This
doing
guy
that
in
thing.
Pulse has no. He's got no limbs going. So.
Yeah, they got booted out of Seattle and went to fucking Jacksonville.
Oh, Griffin.
Both of them did.
I didn't know they're playing together.
I'm pretty sure they are.
I knew they were in Seattle together. I stopped following him after he went to the pros, though.
Yeah, Shaquille went to Jacksonville and he sucks. He still sucks. The cornerback.
I'm not sure where we started.
I get their names mixed up.
I would think
Shaquille.
going for at least an hour and a half, I
Swim.
think, probably.
Yeah.
Right? So, that's probably long enough.
Thanks for listening to the Smoke Circle Podcast. And check us out on twitch.tv/smoke_circle or on YouTube at smoke_circle and at Twitter at smokecircle1. Until next time.